What's up, YouTube, and welcome back to the channel. Today is Tuesday, our weekly vendor reset along with our exotic cash reset. So we're gonna get started here. We're gonna go straight into the vendors, starting with our main vendor in the front of the White House. So let's see what we have here. We have the mechanical animal, pretty cool. Some decent attributes. That regular attribute you would probably swap out if you really needed this weapon. Coming with future perfection. Weapon kills grant +1 skill tier for 19 seconds. Stacks up to 3 times. Weapon kills at skill tier 6 grant overcharge for 15 seconds with a 90-second cooldown. Not a bad weapon. I don't think, as you can see, never used it. But here we go. We have an enhanced PP19. Some okay attributes, but like I always say, don't forget about your library. Throw some of these talents you may not have into your library. So we have our military P416, Prophet, another named weapon here, some decent attributes, and it comes with perfect determined. After killing an enemy with a headshot, the next shot landed on an enemy will be a guaranteed critical headshot. While the talent is active, killing an enemy will not re-trigger the talent. That'll probably work too, especially if you're running a pistol build. I've seen a few people running around with the big shields and pistols. I imagine this might work for a build like that. And we have our Horo carryback backpack. Some okay attributes, although the regular attributes don't really match what the bag should be, which is a skill bag. Right here, library, please don't sleep on it. Maxed armor. Badger Tough has maxed armor. If you don't want it for the attribute, you just want the piece of armor. It comes with Overwatch. After staying in cover for 10 seconds, increases you and your allies' total weapon and skill damage by 12% as long as you remain in cover or in a cover-to-cover move. Not the best talent. I'm sure many people don't really utilize cover to cover that well. But then we also have our mods. We're gonna swing over to the next guy over here. We're gonna go to our countdown vendor since it's right here. And the countdown vendor, we have the relic in here, which I feel like that was in there last week, but if you didn't get it last week, it's here. And it even comes with perfect determined. Again, same talent as the pistol, the Prophet we just saw in the main base of operations. Then we have the Night Watcher. Max scanner pulse, so if you're running a scan build or anything like that, with like your Banshee pulse or whatever, this would probably be your way to go, although you would probably have to go blue, yellow cores just for how this mask is set up. Then we have our door kicker's knock. I'm not gonna lie, I personally haven't seen this yet. Comes with your crit chance for just 1 piece, core attribute weapon damage, regular attribute. You'd probably swap out that explosive resistance for maybe some crit damage, as while you have crit chance there. And it comes with the talent Perfect Spark. Damaging enemies with the skill increases total weapon damage by 15% for 20 seconds. Not bad. That is not bad. Let's continue going. Now we move on to our clan vendor. We are at the clan vendor. With the clan vendor, some of you might not have them, especially if you're not in a clan and you're playing solo. That's okay, because to be quite honest, so far in my experience, there's nothing crazy in here. But of course, we have our Foundry Bulwark. I'm not gonna lie, this all looks very familiar. I feel like this was the same as last week, but if this is the gear set you're trying to run, you have your holster here. Then we have our Negotiator's Dilemma, another great gear set. Weapon damage is pretty nice up there. I might actually purchase this.
I appreciate the business.
Alright, I might purchase that too. I've been wanting to make a build with this, so we're gonna buy both of those, you see? You never know. And we have our relic again with perfect determined. We have our converted SMG9. Nothing crazy, but it comes with sledgehammer. Not a talent I'm big a fan of. I don't really use nades like that, or at least I forget we even have nades. Then we have the infantry MG5. Some decent stuff here. Some decent stuff. Maybe switch out that talent. Reformation. Headshots grant plus 30% skill repair for 15 seconds. Or even just dismantle this completely and get your crit chance in your library. Now, next thing, PS282. Nothing crazy, but it does come with glass cannon. Really good talent if that's the talent you need in the library. So keep an eye on this. We have our electric gloves. Some decent gloves. They're not bad. If you swap out that armor regen, you probably have like a max status effect with that, or a max skill haste. Some pretty good gloves right here. Then we have our wyvern wear. Again, pretty much same thing. You have your skill damage for one piece, skill tier on the core, status effects on regular. Maybe swap out the headshot if you're running just a skill build and this is something you might need. Let me move on to our mods. Protection from elites is pretty good. I might actually just buy this one. I'm gonna wait though. I have to see how many I actually have in my stash. But this is what we have here at the White House. Now we're going to move on to the campus. We are at the campus. Let's see what we get. The new reliable. Not the best attributes, but it comes with the talent perfectly optimized. Plus 30% weapon handling. So remember, that's helping you with both accuracy and stability, I believe. I don't know if it affects reload speed as well, but weapon handling affects a lot of different things for your weapon, so don't think it's useless. It's actually very, very useful. And it's a named weapon, so if you want to bring up that proficiency, and it may not be a weapon you use permanently, just grab this guy. Guarantee you within a couple days of gameplay, you'll have that proficient at 10. Next up, Model 700 with max attribute damage to armor. Again, library. If you need this, that's the way to go, especially if you don't have damage to targets out of cover. This will be your next best thing. Coming with the talent Eyeless. Deal plus 20% weapon damage to blinded enemies. After 4 kills, applies blind to the next enemy you hit. Not bad, especially for a marksman rifle. Then we have our infantry MG5. Nothing crazy. Comes with the same talent Eyeless. Probably wouldn't be a buy for me. Then again, mask that I personally probably wouldn't buy either. Excuse me. That weapon damage attribute is so low, you probably wouldn't keep the skill haste, so not a good buy right here. And then we have our holster, chop leg holster. Again, same thing, some decent attributes, but nothing worth purchasing. Then we have some mods. This isn't too bad right here. Stim charges to heal, right? I might actually purchase this guy. I usually do my second run around after recording. Now we are going to move over to the theater. We're at the theater. Let's see what we got. Tsunami again, same as last week, except last week this one had, I believe, a max attribute. Something was max last week, so last week's would have been the one to purchase. But this comes with your talent Perfect Pummel. 2 consecutive kills, refills the magazine, and grants plus 40% weapon damage for 10 seconds. That's pretty good. That's not a bad talent. I imagine putting that on like your rock and roll, if you were able to. That'd be crazy. Now we have our tactical SASG, which again, look, a maxed attribute. If you need it for your library, do it, purchase it. It's way easier and way more convenient than fighting it out there at random. You get your max health damage, and of course this comes with your talent Flatline. Another great thing to have in your library. If you don't have a King Breaker, make sure you have at least Flatline in your library. It's a very useful talent. A lot of damage to pulse enemies, especially if you're running like a technician build with the whole pulse vibe. Now next we have our USC 45. Again, nothing crazy. Damage to targets out of cover. That's usually when I have trouble finding just overall for my weapons. And it comes with your talent Perpetuation. We've gone through this one. This one's okay. Headshots grant plus 50% status effect damage and duration to the next status effect you apply. Probably wouldn't really rock that on a rifle anyway. We have our Wyvern Wear gloves. Again, a weird combination of yellow, blue, red. I probably wouldn't purchase this. You need to change more than one thing. So not a good grab, but a good grab again for your library. Max health attribute right here on your Douglas and Harding gloves. Definitely worth the buy for that. And we have some of our mods, but of course the mods usually aren't anything crazy. Now we work our way toward the castle. So let's see. Okay, we're good. We're good. We have here the Quiet Roar in the castle settlement with maxed damage to target out of cover. This is 100% a good buy. Damage to target out of cover. Such a good attribute. If you need it, buy this. And then of course this weapon comes with perfect overwhelm. Suppressing an enemy grants plus 12% weapon damage for 12 seconds. Max stack is 4, so I'm assuming that means that can stack up to 4 times. Maybe they're very particular with the wording and sometimes it can get confusing. But if you need your damage to targets out of cover, or you just want to get this weapon proficient, goodbye right here. And you have your custom M44. Nothing crazy. Some okay attributes. Ooh, heard that thunder. Decent attributes, but comes with our talent preservation. Killing an enemy repairs 10% of armor over 5 seconds. Headshot kills improve the repair by 10%. Really good talent for a marksman rifle. Then we have our military MK46. Okay attributes. Thunderstrike talent. Not the craziest talent in the world, although if you are running some sort of status effect, maybe a St. Elmo's build, this will be pretty nice. Then we have our Hasbro Guard mask, HG mask. Again, these are okay attributes. So we have our Douglas and Harding holster. This is again okay if you're like just beginning. If you're someone like me who has been grinding a bit, you probably have a lot of decent maxed out holsters. And then we have our Reviver armor repair. That's actually pretty good. I feel like I rarely see these. That might be a good buy. Aside from that though, that's it. Now we make our way toward Dark Zones. Dark Zone East. I know I said Dark Zone East, but I meant Dark Zone West, which is where we are. Dark Zone West, here we go. We have, oh man, I'm Spanish and I can't even pronounce this. That's so bad. But yes, we have this shotgun. I'm not even going to butcher the name. We have this shotgun, which comes with perfect jazz hands. Plus 30% reload speed. That's a cool talent, and that's a cool name, perfect jazz hands. I don't think I've seen this, and if I have, I wasn't paying attention. But here we go. Dark Zone vendor. If you were a Dark Zone player, this is a good grab if you're trying to bring that proficiency up or just have the shotgun in general, because I personally am a shade level 4 something, and I don't think I've ever seen the shotgun. Then we have the Super 90. Okay attributes, but it comes with the talent Future Perfect. Weapon kills grant same talents that we've been seeing for some reason. I don't know if that's something they do, that they don't put a different variety of talents, but I've come to notice we see the same talents throughout every vendor every Tuesday. Now we have our SOCOM M1A. Again, some pretty okay attributes, not bad for newer players. And it comes with your talent Determined. Just like your relic, it's determined. I don't know what the difference is now that I think about it, because it does the same thing. I'd have to go back and check again. And then we have Umbra. Anyone trying to rock Umbra, this is a really good core attribute. It's almost maxed, which means you could switch out that regular attribute, have a full max attribute. Your core attribute, I think, maybe only needs one upgrade, one optimization level to be maxed. And you have some perfect gloves for your Umbra initiative. Not a bad buy. After that, we have our Rigger. Again, another good gear set, because your core attribute will always just be a yellow core, and then you can just switch out that regular attribute to something max if you have it in your library. Another good buy. Next up, we have our Y'all gear, which is not bad. You almost have max status effect, halfway repair skills. It's a little weird because then you have your the actual brand set itself gives you hazard protection, and it doesn't really match with the attribute, so that might be a weird buy. See, but this is something that actually matches. The attributes match the brand set, because you have your skill duration, repair skills, and skill damage. Your core skill tier, with your regular being some more skill damage and status effects. Okay, buy, especially if you're a beginning player. Then we have our mods. Nothing too crazy. Now let's make our way toward Dark Zone South. We are now at Dark Zone South. Let's see what we get.
Good to see you, Agent.
I have been searching for this weapon for so long. I'm not kidding. Once this video is finished and posted, I will be grinding the Dark Zone to get this. Yeah. The Dark Winter is in the vendor store with your max crit chance. SMG damage is a heartbreaker, because that is so low, but that's okay. I would have a battle between maxing that out and putting that core attribute to damage targets out of cover. If I get enough, I might buy 2 of them and do that and see which one works better. But of course, your Dark Winter comes with your talent Perfect Killer. Killing an enemy with a critical hit grants plus 50% critical hit damage. So if you're someone who has 100% critical hit damage, you get a kill with a critical hit, you're now doing 150% critical hit damage to your next targets. Wonderful weapon. I'm excited because I have yet to get this. Definitely pick this one up. Then we have the same weapon, just not named. Your Vector SBR. If this is something that maybe by next week you don't have that 153, but you have that 101, this might not be a bad one. The only difference is you don't get your talent, so you can't really switch out your attributes if you're going to switch that talent out. Then you have your FALSA. Again, some okay attributes. And then you have your talent Preservation, which we've seen a dozen times already. I can't get my mind off this Dark Winter. I'm so excited. Then we have our named weapon, Visceral Sword. I don't even know how to pronounce that. Please correct me. But it comes with our talent Eyeless. Deal plus 20% weapon damage to blinded enemies. After 4 kills, applies blind to the next enemy you hit. Not bad. And then we have our Cavalier backpack, which, yeah, this is a gear set that we can't get through the summit right now or anywhere. You just have to hope you unlock it through one of the seasonal caches. So if you need a backpack for Cavalier, this might be it. It's a pretty cool gear set. I've been trying to make one for my own, so give it a shot. And then of course we have another Umber piece. You had your first Umber piece at the last location. Now you have your second piece here with some decent weapon damage. You can swap out that handling. Not bad. Next up, 511 Tactical. Again, library. You have your max explosive resistance. Chances of you using it are probably low, but if you're like me and you're a little OCD and you want your library full of everything maxed, even if you're not going to use half of it, I would still buy this. We have our Douglas and Harding chest piece. Some okay attributes, not bad, but the most important part is your talent Unbreakable. I love this talent. When your armor is depleted, repair 95% of your armor. So pretty much you get an instant heal. Your armor will go from being broken to completely maxed out again. And obviously the cooldown, as you can see, every 60 seconds. I have this on my Hunter's Fury because I'm much more in your face. Very useful. Then we have our mods. Alright, next up, Dark Zone East. Our Dark Zone East
Agent, it's good to see you.
with our holster claws out. Max pistol damage, max melee damage. Again, like I was saying before, for those running a pistol build, this might be yours. Not bad. The catch between these two attributes, you cannot add them in your library. So this is something I would purchase, keep in my stash for a rainy day. You never know. You might one day come upon a build and then you need that last piece to really put the icing on the cake, and it could be this. So let's grab this if you really can. Comes with plus 500% melee damage and max attribute of 9% pistol damage. Next up, your SOCOM MK20. Again, some decent attributes, nothing max though. Talent, nothing special, especially if you have it in your library. This is probably an easy talent to throw in your library without having to purchase any of this. Again, you see, back to back with the same talent and some mediocre attributes. Next up, Negotiator's Dilemma. Again, a wonderful gear set, especially for newer players. Most seasoned players, I'm sure, already have a build of Negotiator's Dilemma. So if you need this, definitely add this to your wish list because really good. And of course, another piece of your Umbra, but I believe the last place also had a holster, so it kind of sucks. I could be wrong, because even though it was 30 seconds ago, but again, if you want to build Umbra, it's not bad because your core attribute's almost maxed. You switch out that armor regen, and you have a really good holster for Umbra. And we have our mask, Petrov Defense Group, with some okay attributes. I'd probably just swap out that weapon damage and max it out in the library, and that's pretty much it. This is not bad. This is not a bad mask. And you have your Providence Defense holster again. Some pretty good attributes, especially if you're a newer player, or even if it's a lot harder to find god roll stuff than you think. So this would work. This would definitely work. If I was a Dark Zone player, I would have purchased a lot of things. So I'm gonna have to grind some Dark Zone today. Then we have our mods. Now, last but definitely not least, our New York vendor.
Thanks for the
New York.
Want to make a trade?
We're here. New York AKM. Again with Sadist. You see all these same talents, but here we are. AKM Sadist. Your core attributes are okay, but their regular attributes pretty nice. You could swap out their assault rifle damage to max the assault rifle damage, and it would make this a pretty good weapon. The only issue is you would need to get enemies bleeding, so I guess grenades, abilities, whatever the case is, and this weapon would be really good. And you have your M249B. Some pretty good attributes, I'm not gonna lie, pretty good attributes, and this talent measured is not bad. The top half of the magazine has 20% rate of fire and negative 30% weapon damage, but the bottom half of the magazine has negative 20% rate of fire and 30% total weapon damage. So it gives you that nice balance between putting in heavy damage and your rate of fire. Gives it a pretty cool balance. I wonder, I'd have to sit down and do all the math and stuff and really see how beneficial that is, but reading it right now just like this, it sounds like it's pretty good. We have our Tactical Super 90, again, some mediocre attributes, but it comes with our talent Pummel. 3 consecutive kills refills the magazine and grants 40% weapon damage for 10 seconds. Not bad. You have your X45 Tactical. Some okay attributes. It's actually not bad attributes. Yeah, that's pretty good. Then you have your talent Finisher. Swapping from this weapon within 10 seconds of killing an enemy grants 30% critical hit chance and 30% critical hit damage for 15 seconds. It's actually a great talent for a sidearm. That's actually a really nice talent for a sidearm. I would definitely pick this up if you want to add this to your library. Then we have our 511 Tactical. Again, some attributes and brand set bonuses that don't really match up, But then you have your talent concussion. Headshots increase total weapon damage by 10% for 1.5 seconds. 5 seconds with marksman rifles. Headshot kills increase total weapon damage by 15% for 10 seconds. Why do I feel like that was the weirdest worded talent ever? But anyway, let's move on to our Golden Gear Limited. Again, library people like me, OCD collectors, video game collectors. You have your maxed out armor regen. And then of course you have your basic attributes, but again, the brand set bonuses are a little weird when it comes to matching with the attributes. Even the brand set bonuses almost don't match. That's a weird brand set. And then we have our last but definitely not least, Guard. A good combination between blue and red, which this is actually not bad. So if you want something where you want your armor but then you also want your weapon to hit a bit, this would be a good pickup, the Javelina mask. After this we have our mods, which nothing crazy, but this is what we got. These are our vendors, and then of course we'll quickly jump on to our caches. Don't forget, you got your legendary mission, you got your donated items, which I'll do right here with you guys. See, it's that quick to get one exotic cache a week. So if you feel like you can't do the summit, you feel like you can't do the legendary mission, you feel like you can't defeat the nemesis, you have your donation project, which literally you're just tapping you're donating all the things that you're probably just finding when you're playing. So don't forget these. Don't forget for the summit as well, any difficulty. This doesn't need to be on challenging, heroic. Throw it on the easiest difficulty. Run it. Maybe take you an hour or so. For me, it usually takes me about an hour and a half, and you get your cash. But that is all our changes to our vendors. Don't forget, we have our new target, which I'll have a whole separate video for later. Let's save Lauren Fong so we can get Maria's thing. But that'll be a whole different video. If you like the video, guys, please like and subscribe so I know you guys like the video. And I'll see you all on the next one.